The Virellians had returned, exactly as the ancient warnings had foretold.
The first thing that disappeared was sound, not explosions, not screams. Soundbirds stopped mid-song. Wind died between buildings. Even the hum of cities faded into something unnatural. People stepped outside, confused, looking up. And the sky looked bruised. A deep red wound spread across the stars. No clouds, no lightning, just colour bleeding slowly across the night. Then every satellite feed on Earth went black phones. Lost signal planes vanished from radar for 13 seconds. Exactly 13 when the feeds returned, something enormous hovered above the clouds, watching, waiting. And then a whisper entered every human mind at once. Cold, precise. Ancient, we have returned. "20,000 years ago, a tribe disappeared, not slowly, not violently, instantly. Archaeologists later found melted sand. The ground had turned to glass, but no bones, no remains. Only absence. The story became myth, a doorway. In the sky a light that swallowed people whole. A warning not to look at the stars too long. It was dismissed as superstition until now. The massive shapes in orbit did not move like machines. They drifted like living continents, black smooth, without edges. Without engines, jets fired missiles. The missiles dissolved mid-air tanks, rolled forward. Their metal twisted like soft clay. Entire battalions vanished in white, flashes without heat. No debris, no blood, just empty ground. 3 days after arrival, they stepped onto Earth. Reality shimmered, and they emerged tall, pale. Almost human limbs, slightly too long joints bending too smoothly veneers. Glowing faint silver beneath translucent. Skin eyes black at first glance. But inside the darkness, something moved. Like stars trapped behind glass. Scientists named them the Virellians. They did not shout. They did not threaten. They simply walked through cities, scanning, touching walls, touching people. When they touched someone, that person froze, eyes wide, body stiff. Then their skin cracked softly, like porcelain, and they collapsed into fine grey ash. The ash evaporated before hitting the ground. The Virellians were not conquering. They were sorting. Humanity did not understand the criteria.
Every screen, every channel, every phone flashes the same message. The Virellians have entered Earth.
In Manchester, in a small dark bedroom lit only by a monitor sat a 12-year-old boy, Ethan Cole. Thin, quiet, obsessed with games, not shooters, not racing strategy, simulations, pattern recognition, systems within systems. His parents argued downstairs, his mother crying quietly. His father glued to the news channels. Ethan did not cry. He watched. He noticed something others did not. The Virellians never collided, never hesitated, never misstepped. Across continents, their movements were synchronized, down to fractions of seconds. He rewound, footage counted intervals, tracked positions on a map. His pulse quickened. He opened an old gamer complex, physics simulation, involving dimensional fields. The Virellians' movement patterns matched the game field harmonics. Exactly. Not similar, identical, Ethan whispered to himself. They are not invading. They are building something. He mapped their global positions lines, formed between cities, between oceans, between magnetic poles, a lattice, a planetary grid. Invisible but growing, like a cage slowly closing around Earth. And then he noticed something worse. The grid centered on specific bloodlines, genetic clusters, certain families, random at first glance, but not random selected. Studied, harvested Ethan uploaded a video, simple shaking, camera calm, voice. I think I know what they are doing. They are synchronized through a resonance field. If we break the rhythm, they collapse.
I have to show you what's really happening.
It went viral mocked at first, then examine, then escalated to defense agencies. Within 48 hours. Black vehicles arrived. Ethan was taken to a secure facility. Underground screens surrounded him. Data flooded the walls. Military officers watched skeptically. Scientists listened carefully. Ethan worked silently. For 16 hours, no food, no sleep, just calculations. Tower 17, he turned. Around, I can disrupt them. How? A general demanded, with a counter-harmonic broadcast. They hesitated, but humanity was losing cities daily. They approved its satellites. Aligned transmitters activated. The signal pulsed across Earth. For 5 seconds, nothing happened. The first Virellian screamed. A sound like metal dragged across bone. Their bodies twisted, limbs elongating grotesquely. Spines arching backward, skin splitting without blood. Their eyes burst into white light and they collapsed. Into ash thousands disintegrated. Continent cities erupted in cheers. Humanity believed it had won. But Ethan stared at the data feed. And his face went pale because only a fraction had collapsed. The rest had phased out, escaped intentionally. That night, Dr. Helena Strauss approached him. Saved us, she said. Ethan did not look at her. I filtered the frequency. He said quietly. She frowned. What do you mean?
See?
I
They left
only
on purpose.
targeted one genetic harmonic. Her blood ran cold. What harmonic? Ethan finally looked at her. His eyes shimmered faint silver. The aggressive. Faction? Helena stepped back slowly. You are saying there are factions. Yes, and you chose which one to destroy. Why? Ethan's voice lowered. My grandmother told stories about a doorway in the sky. About ancestors who stepped through. I thought it was fantasy. My DNA reacted to their field. They were not just scanning humanity. They were searching for descendants. Helena's voice trembled. You are one of them. Ethan nodded slowly. I am Virellian and human. They needed someone here, someone who understood both systems. You were their bridge. Helena whispered. Ethan's expression did not change. No eye was their filter. The violent faction wanted extinction. The others want integration, evolution. Helena whispered, what happens now? Ethan looked at the sky through reinforced glass. Now they prepare. Months passed. The red sky faded. The ships disappeared. Governments declared victory. Statues were designed. History books printed Ethan's name, then quietly removed it. Officially, the invasion never happened as reported. Ethan vanished from public record. But astronomers noticed something new: stars shifting in precise geometric alignments. Not physically moving, but blinking in synchronized pulses. A pattern, a construction blueprint, a date in deep space. Something enormous was forming. A Giotto's ship, but not a weapon, a structure large, enough to dwarf planets, and at its center, a resonance matching human DNA. Only two. A quiet hillside outside the city. Ethan stood alone. Wind brushing against his jacket eyes, glowing faint silver in the dark. A whisper filled his mind. The integration had begun. Invasion, not war transformation. Humanity believed it had survived extinction, but extinction was never the goal. It was evolution, and Earth was only the incubation stage. Ethan smiled faintly. Because the Virellians were not returning to conquer. They were returning to merge. The next generation would not be fully human or fully alien. They would be something else entirely. And far above Earth, the stars aligned into one final shape. A doorway opening again, slowly, silently. Inevitable 20,000 years ago. Tribes stepped through a portal, and now the portal had come back for everyone, and this time no one would be left behind.